Welcome back to IvanVentures, the show where we make business, finance, and investing actually fun. I'm your host, Ivan.
And I'm Mela, ready to break down the big moves happening behind the scenes.
Today, Mela, we are diving into something you probably never expected to hear in the same sentence: Netflix and professional boxing.
Yeah, I got to admit, when you first brought this up, I was like, what? Isn't Netflix for, binging the new season of Bridgerton, not watching people get punched?
Exactly. But nope, Netflix isn't just for Stranger Things anymore. They're streaming the Canelo Álvarez fight. And here's the real kicker, the part that changes everything. It's included with your regular subscription. No extra pay-per-view fee required.
That part is crazy, right? Because usually a championship fight like that would run you, what, $80 on pay-per-view?
At least. But Netflix is just saying, nah, we'll give it to you as part of your $15 monthly subscription. It's a total paradigm shift. And hold on, was that? Yes, that's our unofficial third co-host, Miklo the cat, who just demanded that tuna money be added to the official IvanVentures budget. Maybe Netflix can sponsor that too.
He has expensive taste. Only the best for Miklo. But let's dive into this, Ivan. Segment 1, the old model versus Netflix's new knockout strategy.
Right. So traditionally, boxing's biggest fights were always pay-per-view. You would gather your friends, everyone would chip in 10 or 20 bucks, order some pizzas, and you'd all huddle around the TV to watch the $80 fight. That model worked for decades.
Oh, totally. I remember those nights. But let's be honest, that model has been feeling old. The pay-per-view numbers have been declining for years.
They've been in a nosedive. Fans just aren't willing to pay that kind of money like they were before, especially younger fans.
Right. Why would you pay $80 for a 3-hour event when you're already used to paying, $10 to $20 a month for literally unlimited streaming content? The value proposition is just completely skewed.
And Netflix saw that. They just completely flipped the script. Now, if you've got Netflix, you get the fight included. And this is the important part. That makes the potential audience enormous. We're talking over 300 million subscribers worldwide. It's not a niche event anymore. It's a global one.
And we've already seen proof of concept here. The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, which was also on Netflix, reportedly drew 38 million concurrent viewers just in the US.
38 million? That's a Super Bowl level number. That is way bigger than even the most successful modern pay-per-views. They're not selling to thousands, they're broadcasting to tens of millions.
Which brings us to the big question then. Why? Why give away an $80 product for quote unquote free? This leads into our second segment, subscriber growth and retention.
Because Netflix plays the long game. They're not thinking about the $80 they're losing tonight. They're thinking about the $15 a month they'll get from you for the next 5 years. They know that if you sign up for the fight, you'll probably stick around for Squid Game 2 or Stranger Things 5 or the next big movie.
Exactly, the stickiness factor. I remember my dad religiously paying for fights on cable and then, boom, canceling the channel the very next day. Netflix makes it so much harder to cancel because the fight is just one small part of this massive bundle of other shows and movies you're already watching.
I did the exact same thing with HBO for Game of Thrones. I signed up for that one show, and I think I stayed a subscriber for, 3 or 4 years longer? It's a classic hook. Get them in the door with one big unmissable event, and then keep them there with a deep library of content.
It's brilliant, really. It turns a one-time transaction into a recurring revenue stream. But that's not the only way they're making their money back, which leads us to segment 3, advertisers and partners. Because then there's the ads. Ivan, live fights are an absolute dream for advertisers.
Oh, a golden goose. It's the Super Bowl effect on a global scale. Everyone's tuned in at the exact same time, watching the exact same thing. There's no skipping, no fast forwarding. It's a captive audience.
And in a world of on-demand everything, that is becoming incredibly rare and incredibly valuable.
And here's where Netflix gets even smarter. They can customize the ads by market. So viewers in Mexico get ads for Mexican brands. Viewers in the US are seeing DraftKings and Cash App. It's hyper-targeted on a massive scale. Plus, They partnered with a company called Johan Promotions, which lets them show the fight in bars, restaurants, and casinos too.
Oh, so that's another whole revenue stream on top of everything else. It's exactly like when we'd all go to Buffalo Wild Wings for a UFC fight, except this time the whole operation is being powered by Netflix. Multiple revenue streams, that's the name of the game. Subscriptions, targeted ads, commercial licenses, they're monetizing this from every possible angle.
All right, let's talk about the fighters. This is segment 4, and it's where the business really gets juicy. Because under the old pay-per-view model, fighters like Canelo got a cut of the total pay-per-view buys.
So their payday depended entirely on how many people decided to shell out the $80.
Exactly. Say a fight sells a million buys at $80 each. That's $80 million gross. But then the cable companies take their cut, the promoters take their cut, the distributors take their share, and by the time it all trickles down, the fighter might end up with $20 to $30 million.
And if the fight underperforms, say it only sells 500,000 buys, suddenly that purse is a whole lot smaller. The fighters literally had to go out and sell the fight themselves to secure their payday. It was a huge risk.
Now with Netflix, it's completely different. Netflix pays the fighters huge guaranteed purses, regardless of how many people watch the fight. For example, reports suggest Canelo's Netflix deal could guarantee him upwards of $40 to $50 million.
Wow. So he gets that money no matter if 10 million or 30 million people stream the fight.
Correct. The risk is transferred from the fighter to the platform.
So it's way less risky for fighters and honestly, probably a lot less stressful. They can just focus on training instead of worrying if the pay-per-view numbers are going to come in.
Let's use a simple money example to show how Netflix makes this work. Let's say, hypothetically, Netflix pays $100 million total for the rights to the fight. That's a huge upfront cost.
Okay, 100 million.
But if that single fight attracts even 2 million new subscribers worldwide, and each of those subscribers pays $15 a month, that's $30 million in new revenue every single month.
So in about 3.5 months, they've already made back their initial 100 million.
And if they can keep those subscribers for a full year, they've made back $360 million. The math works, and it works spectacularly.
And that doesn't even count the ad revenue. All those brands, they are lining up to get their products in front of those millions of viewers. So Netflix isn't just making its money back, it's getting it back multiple times over.
Exactly. It's an investor's mindset. Spend big up front to acquire the customer and then cash out on the long-term value through subscriptions and ads. It's a win-win-win. Fighters get guaranteed paydays, Netflix gets explosive growth, and fans get way more value.
And just for context, Canelo made about $45 million for his fight with Caleb Plant on Showtime pay-per-view. So Netflix's guaranteed model isn't just safer, it could be even more lucrative for the top athletes.
And there he is again. Miklo says he'd fight for half that, paid entirely in unlimited tuna cans. The negotiations are ongoing. So, segment 5. What is the bigger impact on the boxing industry here? I think this model could genuinely revive boxing for a new generation. Pay-per-view, by its very nature, had a limited reach. It was expensive.
It was a walled garden.
A very expensive walled garden. Netflix just brings the sport to hundreds of millions of people all around the world, many of whom would never, ever have considered paying $80 for a single night of fight.
So you get new fans, you open up new markets, and you have more money guaranteed for the fighters. It's like the entire sport just got globalized overnight. It could create a whole new wave of boxing fans.
And that leads into our final segment, Netflix's bigger sports strategy, because they're definitely not stopping here, but their strategy seems really selective.
Very. They're not trying to become ESPN. They're not trying to buy every NFL game or every NBA game. They seem to be going for these huge breakthrough ownable events.
Things with a global appeal.
Exactly. Look at what else they've done. They just signed a 10-year, $5 billion deal for WWE Raw.
$5 billion. That's a huge bet.
A huge bet on consistent live year-round content with a massive dedicated global fan base. And now there are reports they're eyeing the broadcast rights for the FIFA World Cup in 2027 and 2031.
So they're not buying the whole shoe store. They're just buying the limited edition sneakers that turn heads and get everyone talking.
That is the perfect analogy. It's event-driven, it's global, and it's absolutely perfect for the streaming model. They want the things you have to watch live.
So, to wrap it all up, Netflix has completely changed the fight game. They did it by taking an expensive, exclusive product and bundling it into their affordable mass market subscription.
And the result is that everyone wins. Fighters get guaranteed mega paydays, Netflix grows its subscribers and ad revenue, and fans get huge value without those insane pay-per-view prices.
This isn't just a boxing story, it's a media story. It's about the future of live event.
And it might just change how we watch sports forever. Forget $80 pay-per-views. This could be the new normal.
And maybe, just maybe, next time we'll see Miklo headline the undercard, Miklo versus the Red Laser Pointer. I'd pay for that. Thanks for listening to IvanVentures podcast, the podcast where business, investing, and finance actually make sense. Don't forget to subscribe.
And share this episode with anyone who still thinks Netflix is just for movies.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please follow or subscribe and share it with someone who'd love these topics too. It really helps us keep going. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building the life and business you deserve.